This is the story of America's first museum of modern art, the Phillips Collection. At its heart was Duncan Phillips, who, along with his wife, painter Marjorie and Phillips, championed the art and artists of their time. After the loss of Duncan's brother in the 1918 influenza epidemic, Duncan and his mother founded the Phillips Memorial Art Gallery, which opened to the public in 1921. Duncan Phillips didn't just found the first museum of modern art. He rethought what a museum could be. When you walked into a museum 100 years ago, collections were laid out chronologically. You would see works organized by time or place, but Duncan envisioned a museum arranged by visual conversation, how pieces felt together, rather than when or where they were made. El Greco was paired with Van Gogh, Cézanne with the American modernists. At a time when few embraced the new, Duncan Phillips collected the work of his contemporaries, artists like George O'Keeffe, Jacob Lawrence, Milton Avery, and Arthur Dove, giving them their first museum home. These weren't just aesthetic preferences. Duncan Phillips deeply cared about artists. He was emotionally invested in them. You see this perhaps most acutely in his relationship with and his patronage of Arthur Dove.
Arthur Dove is important because he was one of the first American modernists to truly embrace abstraction. He took elements from the natural world and turned them into a whimsical, lyrical expression of an emotional feeling he wanted to convey. He did this with vibrant colors and organic forms. Much of Arthur Dove's early success can be attributed to his support and patronage from Duncan Phillips. Phillips became acquainted with Dove's body of work in 1922, and by the early 30s, Phillips would fund the painter with a monthly stipend to support the continuation of his practice. This painting is quintessential Dove. It has been in the Phillips collection since the year it was painted. He is articulating this new vision of modernism. We see bright blues and pinks and browns and beiges, elements from the natural world that he has synthesized into this incredible abstraction. In supporting Arthur Dove, Duncan Phillips proved that great patrons can help create great movements. One of Arthur Dove's greatest impacts on American modernism was the influence he had on Georgia O'Keeffe. O'Keeffe is often cited as the mother of American modernism, and for good reason. She took natural objects, clouds, skulls, mountains, and most famously flowers, and she made them sumptuous. She made them emotional. We see that in this painting, as she transforms the lines and colors of the objective form, a leaf, into an abstract composition. Different hues of red, deep maroon, crimson, vermilion contrast with a non-representational undulating white backdrop, which then takes on a life of its own. There's something seductive about it, something sensual. It pulls you in, and you're not sure why. It's a leaf, but it's so much more. Duncan Phillips didn't just have an eye for the now. He had an eye for the avant-garde throughout history.
By far and away, my favorite piece from the Phillips collection this season is this fabulous drawing from the 1880s by Georges Seurat, Clown et Poney. What we're looking at in this drawing is a traveling circus. It's not the main event, it's the free sideshow performance, which is meant to drum up business and lure in customers. On stage, you can see two clowns and a small pony between them, and you can just make out other performers in the wings and the crowd jostling below. It was exhibited alongside Sunday Afternoon at La Grande Jatte in the final Impressionist show of 1886. It was one of only 3 drawings that Seurat chose to exhibit alongside his bombshell masterpiece. Seurat was at the forefront of the neo-impressionist movement, and canvases like La Grande Jatte and the Circus Sideshow are among the most recognizable and iconic paintings in the world today. When you look at La Grande Jatte, I find one's immediate response is, God, how did he do that? that shimmering, otherworldly quality that it has. And in some ways, he's spelling out the answer in this drawing, because we think that Seurat is all about colour, but in fact, he's actually about tone. Why is tone so important for Seurat? Well, it's in the tone and this sense of contrast, which goes from thick blacks to these bright, bright whites, that you get a sense of the life of the circus, the glow of the gas lamps, the reflection on the performers and the jostling life in the crowd. It's there that we get the sense of movement. That's what makes the drawing come alive. One of the paradoxical things about collectors who are so ahead of their time is that when you fast forward 100 years, what made them pioneering is hidden in plain view. Things today we might think of as commonplace, but that's only because he was so visionary at the time.
The sale of these works from the Phillips Collection will support future acquisitions, continuing Duncan Phillips' legacy, a museum that still sees as artists see. Always searching, always becoming.